Right, so welcome to Football Manager 2020 and the save of Viking Manager, which sees Raven Runeson as manager of AIK right now. For those of you who may be watching this and not familiar with the story so far, since I haven't been uploading this to YouTube in any way, shape, or form, the save is really simple. It's a Parks to Prem style save, where I started with 0 experience, 0 badges, 0 reputation, unemployed, and I had to work my way to the top of the game. But I set the stipulation that I had to only manage in any given nation's top division, which means that I couldn't do your typical start in the Vanarama North and do really well and leapfrog 2 leagues up at a time or carry 1 team up in 5 years. So I feel like it adds more of a challenge. I started my career at Havnar Bolton. I can't pronounce it. HB. I started my career at HB in the Faroe Islands in the Epodidlin. They are historically the strongest team in the Epodidlin. They had won it the year before I took over. Historically, they've been the most successful team in the country. I came in and I led them to 2 successive league titles before moving on to Viking Olivsvik. Well, however you say that. Viking O. I did not last very long here. I think I spent 6 months here, but that was mostly the off-season. And I realized very quickly after the season began that they were doomed to relegation. And as you can see, they did end up in the 2nd tier of Icelandic football. I jumped ship after about 2 games into the season because I did not want to hurt my reputation. I did bring this guy into the club. He's now their captain. That makes me kind of happy. 34-year-old Trinidad and Tobagoan, who I had play for me at HB. From there, I was unemployed for about a month, and I joined Ararat Yerevan in Armenia, where I won, however you pronounce that, in my one and only season in charge of the club. They're currently not doing it as well, obviously. I believe I also won the FA Cup, the domestic competition. Yes, I did. So I had a pretty successful term there. It was about a year. They are ranked 78th in the competition. As you can see, they dropped 8 places since I was there. They were 70th when I was there. They were above the Pepsi Deedle in Iceland. So I went from, it's already filtered top divisions. I went from the Faroe Islands, who you can see have been on a meteoric rise pretty much. In 2019, they were 117th. 2020, they were the same. They went to 103rd, 96th, and now they're up to 88th. But they were one of the literal worst leagues in Europe when I came in and took over at HB. Went to Ararat Yerevan, won their competition. The other thing that I did while I was at HB was I actually took them to the group stages of the Europa League twice, which I think is what gained my reputation enough to join these other clubs. I believe this was my season in charge here. They weren't in a European competition, and I parlayed that into... Yeah, I know this is... Kaiser, no. I'm sorry, that's my dog. I parlayed that lack of European competition into winning the league. I can tell this is my season because there's random mid-season friendlies, because if there's more than a week between games, I arrange friendlies. After I left them, I joined AIK in the Swedish league. They were ranked 20 or 21st. I'm not sure which one of those actually was. Joined midway through the season. They were not having a good season. They were 13th after 12 games played, and I led them to the title, and also I managed to get them through the Euro Cup group stage, as you can see here. Obviously, their season runs with the calendar year, not with the typical football season. So, midway through the Euro Cup right now, in the end of the between season break for the domestic league. The cup is a weird one here. I cannot move this little bar saying I'm recording, which means I can't actually look at previous years. But as you see, like there's a knockout round which we played in and won 4-0. That was I think that was before I joined. Was it? Let me see. So that's before I joined. Okay, so yeah, I joined after this loss here. As you can see, there's a bunch of friendlies. It was a mid-season break, and I led them to an impressive run of form that saw them lose once in all competitions while I've been in charge, which was a 2-1 loss to Vaduz, Swiss, I believe. Yeah, Swiss team in the Euro Cup 2's qualifying rounds. A couple of draws here and about, but overall a generally really strong performance. And yeah, we only played one cup game. So for some reason the cup spans the latter half of one season and then the front half of the next season. So we're coming in now on the day of the first group stage match in the FA Cup of Sweden, which sees us play this club, whatever their name is. We are expected to make the final, which I don't think it says there. That's basically we are really, really expected to make it to the final of. It doesn't say that either. Jesus. Wait, either way, I saw at some point or another we were expected to make the final, and the world wouldn't be happy with anything less. I've done some transfers in this off season. Johan's, I covered these in my last write-up, the first few, so actually the first 4. Johan Stenmark, who is just a homegrown player to boost our homegrown rankings numbers. As you can see, he's not anything particularly special. He's on par with my current centre backs, so which is probably one of my weakest spots in my team. Eric Anderson comes in as another homegrown player to boost those numbers in the centre of the park. Easily my second choice deep lying playmaker to Michael Fuller. Him. Or even he could, based off of his stats, this map looks very good for a box-to-boxer. Let me highlight the stats for box-to-boxer. Yeah, he looks pretty decent in box-to-box, so he's a backup to Connor as well. Emil Roback comes in. Again, homegrown Swedish player. He honestly, I don't believe this. I don't believe that he's better than Jan Mlaka, especially with his consistency issues. Let's compare them. You see this map, Malaka's got the better mentals, he's stronger, he's faster, he's got better vision, he's better at his actual attacking stats. He just lacks the aerial and technical presence that Roback supposedly brings as a 20-year-old. But his last season at the Basel under-21s looked very good, but that's the under-21 side. Scoring 3 from 3 is superb, but it's that under-21 side. And then these numbers from the second division of Sweden look encouraging. Not great, not terrible, but that is the second division. Again, he looked really good for the Basel under-21s there and there. So maybe he's good enough to displace Malaka, but Malaka was our undisputed first choice. Actually, let's show you Malaka's history. Okay, let's do that a different way. Jeez, they don't make this easy anymore, do they? Malaka, you can see his stats, his attributes, his statistics from last season. Remembering, I brought him in midway through the season. He played 12 times in the league, including one sub appearance, scored 9 goals. In the European competition, the continental competitions, he scored 2 goals in 11 games, which is not that good, but so maybe Robo can replace him. Who knows? I'm definitely not selling him anytime soon, especially as I'd make quite a significant loss off him. He's valued at 2.6, and I bought him for 4.3. I didn't think his value would drop that severely. John Kitolano, which if you've been following my posts on Facebook, was not my first choice to come into the left back position. He cost me 4 million quid. Not happy. He's not. Oh my god. Whoever is doing this judging is not very good. I don't think. He's better than this kid. This kid's physicals are phenomenal. His acceleration, his agility, his natural fitness, his stamina. He's brave as all hell, but everywhere else, he is nowhere near as good as Kitolano. And yeah, that map kind of shows it all right here. But Kitolano comes in to be my new first choice left back because Hogan, who was my first choice left back last season, is 29 years old, which is too old for me. I don't like him that old. His acceleration is lacking. His dribbling is lacking. Everywhere else, he's a really nice average 12s and 13s and a 14 or two, which that 14 in crossing parlayed its way into 11 assists in all competitions last season, which only 4 of those came in the league. 7 of them came from 11 games in the Euro Cup 2, which is probably why I'm remembering it so fondly, because the games in the Euro Cup 2 are far higher stakes. But the age factor just meant I had to replace him with someone who, Kitolano again, it's all 12s, 13, 12. There's an 11 there, but he's not as good at crossing, but he's much better at dribbling. I see him as an improvement, really, whilst also lowering the age significantly. Hagen, because I have now managed to register Kitolano for European competitions, but I wasn't sure if I was going to get the opportunity to. So Hagen is leaving, but he's not leaving until June. I had a lot of clubs sniffing around him once I put him up for sale, but very few wanted to agree to a sale at the end of their season, which would be obviously after the European competitions had ended, and I got full use out of him if I couldn't replace him in the Euro Cup 2. So he is leaving, but not until midway through this season for us. My first choice, I'm going to show you this kid. This kid is really good, and I hit the wrong button. My bad. That's not him. There he is, shortlisted Cali. This kid, who, he's not as good technically as Kitolano. He's not. You see, Kitolano's got him edged on crossing, dribbling, first touch. He's slightly better at marking. They're tied on tackling, and Kitolano's better in the pass. But physically, he beats Kitolano in most categories. He's 22. He's homegrown. I was really excited to bring this kid in, but this ended up being a big problem. I wonder, does it show me what my last offer was? Yeah, this is the last offer I made for this kid. Before I abandoned all hope, I threw the kitchen sink into this deal. I had a $6 million transfer budget, but so I actually made an offer worth $10 million for him, and my board cancelled it, saying we'd only be willing to spend $4.9 million on him, and that's pushing it. I did sneak this offer through without them interfering, but Malmo still rejected it. So it wasn't meant to be. I did have another second choice who, well, that's why he wasn't there. Apparently I took him off. I don't remember his name either. There was a Danish left He could play left mid. He could play. He wasn't a natural attacking left, but he was natural left mid, natural left wing back, natural left back, and he looked really tasty as well. Wasn't very good defensively, but was very good going forwards. And he was valued at 875,000, and same deal. Like I made multiple offers, they rejected all of them, and I eventually just walked away. Wolves were willing to let go of Kitalano, eventually 4 million. That took some haggling. They wanted 12 million out of me originally, which I was not willing to pay for a player of his ability. Just no. So then our final transfer, which even if you follow me on Facebook, you haven't seen, is Henrik Rasmussen, who is a Danish 17-year-old right back, and he looks tasty for 17. Like 13 tackling, 11 marking, makes him solidly defensively. I don't even really care about his defensive attributes. Have I taken over this kid's training? I have. Wing back. I like my fullbacks to be attacking. I like them to be getting up, getting those assists, being a threat from out wide, especially as I play inside forwards. So here I'm hoping to see some big improvements. But 17 acceleration, 19 bravery. I got him for 800 grand from SC Copenhagen, and he's ranked as my third best right back. He will be, in actual fact, my backup right back, because Johan Stenmark, you saw his stats, he's not a right back, he's a centre back. Jean-Pierre was my former... Oh, wait, no, he's my left back. Oh, my right back's out online, that's why. I already busily sent the former backup right back out of line because he's also a prospect, so he needs to be getting play time. Suter. So you see, like, he's still pretty good, but he's got similar stats going forward without the first touch, but he's significantly weaker in defense. Swiss 19-year-old, so he's a few years older, but significantly behind the curve as far as development goes. So, yeah, that's why I brought him in. He came up as a scout recommendation. 800 grand, could not turn down, which Emil Roback for 66k. That's why I brought him in. I feel like I was going to mention that and didn't. So that was, as I said, I already have first choice striker. Jeffer is not my second choice striker. Carlson is my second choice striker. As you see, he's nothing special, nothing to write home at, but he's rated as having a really good potential. He's 17, he's homegrown, he came through the youth team, so I'm really hoping that he can turn out to be something special. His aggression bothers the hell out of me, because I like to play pressing forwards, and that aggression is terrible for a pressing forward, but last season he bagged a few goals, so from 4 starts, 8 sub appearances, 6 goals. That's really good for a 16, 17-year-old. So yeah, Roback did not come in to be my second choice striker. He came in simply because that price, like, there's no way I can't flip him for a profit at some point. So enough with the introductions. You've seen pretty much all there is to see. If you are actually new, you might want to see Robin Reams, first choice goalkeeper, 18 years old, Finnish, also a signing of mine. He was fairly cheap. Not that cheap really for this level, 2.6 million. You've seen the right back, Kozina, first choice centre back. I believe he counts as homegrown, I believe. Yep, homegrown in Sweden. Jason Kerr, who does not, he's a Scotsman, came in from St. Johnstone, the one before I got here. Conor Gallagher came in with me. I brought him in from Philadelphia Union. He's a former Chelsea kid. Played for Philadelphia when I brought him in. Michael was here when I got here. He was our star player. I've kept him on. He wanted to leave. I managed to keep hold of him because he is very good. He was considered to be the best player in the league when I got here. Lundholm, who is 29. I'm not really happy with him as a right winger, but I really, really haven't been able to find anything better as an inside forward on the left. He puts up decent numbers. He stays for now. Almasaur is actually, he's better than my other choice, AMC, but he's second choice based purely on form. Um, because Pedersen, homegrown Pedersen, you see, like, I feel like of this graph you'd pick Almasor over him, but their forms last season, he banged in a bunch of goals really early on and then petered out to an overall 6.74, while I believe I have unavailable. Yeah, I've got unavailable. And I can't move that thing. Oh. Bull. I don't know if that thing even shows up for you guys. There's a little thing right here that says I'm recording, and I can't move it, and I can't click behind it. So, this is Pedersen. Both stats. 7.84 average rating, 7 games, 7 goals, 1 assist in the league. Didn't do too well on the European stage with 6.57, but in the league he was just. Well, once I realized how good of a vein of form he was in, he was undroppable. So coming into the season, my first choice left winger when I got here was Ruan, who I brought in. He's got sprained ligaments. He's out for a month. He's very tasty for this level. I brought him in to be a talisman. He was alright. He wasn't anything special. Wallum, who was already here, ended up being really good as well. So again, another case of a player who wasn't meant to be my first choice, forcing his way into the team. Maka, you've already seen, did really well. Pierre, you've already seen briefly. Let me give you another look. Again, a solid youth prospect. Gravius, just a homegrown. A deep line playmaker. Anderson, you've seen, I brought him in. Patrick Holm, another young prospect that came through the club's youth team, who I've been giving a lot of first team football to. As you can see, before I got here, he had not played. And I come in, he gets 3 starts, 8 appearances off the bench, plus 4 off the bench in cup and continental competitions. Carlson, you've seen. Roebuck, you've seen. Anything interesting? Oh, this guy was originally going to be my first choice goalkeeper when I brought him in. When I first got here, he was my first priority. The goalkeeping staff when I got here were terrible. And I identified this guy because he was significantly better than what we had. He was cheap and he was homegrown. Then I found Reem, and I just, I went for the pretty young, talented player. You've seen him. He's a young prospect, came through the club's youth academy. Hugo I brought him in again, just a Swedish homegrown player. Hogan, you've seen. Yatta, Swedish homegrown, young, talented, bit resilient, and versatile. So Yalupa is my second choice right winger. Again, he's younger than Lundstrom. But Lundstrom's homegrown as well, so that works in his favour. But yeah. There's a couple of people who are out injured who I can't show you because I can't get to this. Oh, wait. Yes, I got to it. Aha! Get rid of unavailable. So you see Suda's out on loan. Bahui, who I really want to get rid of at 33. He's solid, but he's 33 and he's a little bit slower than I'd like. But he's really versatile. And I'm happy just letting him close out his career at this point because I can't get rid of him. I mean, he's worth 250k. It's not even worth it. I've shown you Marcus. Yeah. So now you're all caught up. This is my tactic here. Custom Gegenpress. Really simple instructions with this formation and probably this lineup. So without further ado, I've rambled on for quite some time. Let's jump into our first cup game. I'd really been hoping to get through all 3 of the group stage games, but I'm not sure that's going to work. I've already been rattling on for 25 minutes, but we'll see. See, they lined up with a really defensive 4-4-2-like thing, probably trying to lock us down because we are a bit threatening, and we've already scored. I should probably, for the sake of you guys, move away from my usual. Oh, it was a penalty. That's less exciting. Let's see. Can I watch this? Yeah. Nice little penalty. Sent the keeper the wrong way. Nice. Lundholm plays in Almasol, who misses. Oh, that was close. Have me on the edge of my seat. Let's slow this down a little. I still want it quick because I want to get through all 3 of the group stage matches, which is already looking a bit unrealistic. If I hit like 45 minutes, probably going to call it quits there. I'm just doing this. One of the guys who comments on my Facebook posts, Jesper, shout out. Dude has been following my full manager saves for 18 months, 2 years now. That was a good chance. Pretty much whenever I start a new save and ask if anyone wants tags, he is one of the first people. Like, honestly, I start putting him on the list before he's even commented at this point because I know he's going to. Just give him a bit of a team talk, whatever the assistant manager thinks. I'm going to make some changes. Let's see. Gallagher, we'll give Anderson his first start, who's apparently been handling the number 7 shirt. Huh, that's a bit disappointing. I kind of wanted to shift that up to Wallum, or maybe Almasor. Who's out? London's not having a good game, so we'll give Holman appearance off the bench. And, you know what? Let's give our new number 9, Roebuck, an appearance off the bench. He really is not suited to be pressing forward. Let's try him as an event. Advance forward. Almasor puts it over the bar. Of course he does. That was 2 really dangerous free kicks. I'm really kind of bummed out they didn't go in. The board actually tried to make an adjustment to the club vision to make us make the most of set pieces. Presumably they've been seeing this. I don't watch with highlights on. I literally just watch the text and the stats and make my changes accordingly. Oh, that was pretty. That would have been a cracker of a goal from home. Oh, come on. Hit it. Hit it. Oh. Look at me encouraging them to play like Manchester United and just come in 30-yarders that don't go near the target. The board wanted me to add and make the most of set pieces to the club vision. And we negotiated over the club vision, which was, that was nice from Wallum. And that is why Wallum has replaced Ruan in my first team lineup. Besides the fact that Ruan's currently injured. So we literally just went back and forth with me removing make the most from set pieces from the club vision, suggesting the terms, them adding it back in, me removing it, them removing it, them adding it back in, and so on and so forth. Just over and over again until they started to lose patience, and I was like, no, I will. If you want to fire me over the fact I won't make the most of set pieces when you hired me without that being a criteria, because I am not Sean Dyche. I am not, bloody hell, who's in charge of Villa right now? Yeah. I'm not the sort of person who makes the most out of set pieces. It's not my style. So, eventually the board acquiesced to my requests, and I get to just play with the club vision of develop the club's youth system, which is favoured. It's not overly important. They're still reserving judgment, even though I've been here 6 months. I feel like I've done a decent job. I've been given home games off the bench, a couple of starts. Carlson, same deal. And then Edstrom has made a handful of appearances under me. 10. That's a large number of appearances, really, for a young player who's not that good. So, we got another friendly match with Munich coming up. I don't coach the friendly matches anyway. I have them set so that my assistant will take care of them because I don't care. When's our actual next match? 26. With the number of friendlies that I arrange, it just does not make any sense for me to coach them. It will take me so much longer to get through a season. Because during the off season, I play a friendly every 3 days. Well, I give the players 3 days off between friendly games. And then, as you see here, we're given 3 days off after Munich. Usually, I will give them a week off from the last friendly to the first game in the season. This is a weird occasion because there was like 15. No, there wasn't 15. There was like 12 days. Well, actually, I think it was like 8. But yeah, there was a long enough gap between the two cup games that I felt like jamming a friendly in there, just to keep the legs fresh and ready for match action. Which that's actually a really big problem I run into, is keeping the players I don't really want to play match fit. Um, when given all the resources in the world at a club like Manchester United or whatever, I will generally build 2 teams. I will literally have a starting 11 for the. I'll have 2 starting 11s, and I will just rotate between the two every game. When you're playing 2 games a week every week, it really is a good thing to have. Massively draining on your wage budget, and you get players who get unhappy because they're not playing enough, despite the fact they're playing every other game. But because they're only playing, I don't know if they've fixed that for this for 2020. But on the older games, like if you were playing a player in the Champions League, they acted like they weren't getting first team football at all, which was frankly ludicrous. It was just simply squad management, and I don't understand why my players are being upset with me. Ooh, he looks tasty. Oh, he's too expensive. Let's have to look at him. Oh, he is tasty. Yeah. Team selection advice. Yeah, loop cut, whatever. Another knee ligaments. Jesus. I didn't even know he was unhappy that I treated him badly. What a shame. Martin Carlson's training performances, not prepared to go over the subject again, have been something amazing. Like that's a really good line. Since I took over, he has just gone up and up and up and up. Like his finishing has literally followed that exact trajectory. I think. It's not sure. Okay, there. Oh no, it hasn't. Nowhere near. It stayed 12 the whole time. uh, but they claim his overall trajectory has been a really nice upward tick. Um, when it comes to strikers, I tend to look predominantly. Oh god, I'm just clicking more things. Um, I tend to look predominantly at decisions, composure, off the ball, finishing and first touch. I take everything else into consideration, but those are what I really look at for a goal scorer because years ago now, I played my first save on every FM is always Wolverhampton Wanderers during the beta, and I signed Alfred Finnbogason. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that right. Let's see, is he still in the game? No, he's not. Let me hang on. I feel like there. He is. He's got the fawn instead of an actual deer. He's now 35. Jesus. But his finishing is phenomenal. His first touch is phenomenal. His composure, his decisions, and his off the ball are really good. And in real life, like he had a phenomenal season right here, and he'd had an off season with I think it was the 2015 game that I signed him, and he was a 20 plus goal in the league striker for Wolves. I think he scored 32 one season, and it was just ridiculous. And it was from that I began mostly just looking for these specific stats when it comes to strikers. Anticipation doesn't know either, but obviously if I have the choice between a striker with 20 pace and a striker with 10 pace, but they're equal in the other stats, or even if the player with 10 pace has better stats on those key stats than the player with 20 pace, I'm going with the pacier player as well. Like, it's not the be all end all, but that's where I really like to look. Basically, like 13, 12, 14. It's the main criteria with which I search for them. We happy with this starting lineup? Everyone looks fit. We don't have any red blocks. Do we want to make any changes to the sub bench? I didn't mean to click that. Whoops. Yeah, we're gonna play it safe. We're just gonna field our first team. They'll line up with a 4-5-1 with a defensive midfielder. Hand over to the assistant. I only really take control of that when it's a big game that I'm actually concerned about. The same with the shouts. I only really use them when it's a big event. Like the European games, I'm sat there like every time it'll let me demand more, show some passion, get creative. I could be 3-0 up and I'm still demanding more. Ali on the right, whips it in, and Wallum! Poacher's effort, but you gotta be there to score them, don't you? That was a nice bit of play. I don't know if my mic is picking up. I'm watching False Focus in the background because I'm a giant loser. Absolutely nothing happening here for 20 minutes. Jeez, not a single key highlight. We've managed 7 shots on goal, 4 on target. My team pick up yellows like no man's business, especially my fullbacks. They seem to get suspended frequently. Wallen whips it in, sent back out. Kerr chases it out and end of free kick, end of highlight. Wallen whips it in and scrappy in the box, right in that 6-yard box. And Almasor manages to bang it in from point blank range. I've seen players miss them, so I'm not going to complain. Seems like they forced the clearance there forced to switch flank. That was a terrible ball from the AI. That was a lovely ball from the AI, and Laka just couldn't capitalize. Still in the first half, won't make any changes yet. 2-0 up, no point. That was a nice ball from Laka again, who, again, did not make good use of it. Why is he drifting out so wide? Have I told him to roam from position? Let's see. Nope, I haven't. Not sure why he keeps ending up that wide. Ooh, that looked threatening. But one was offside for the ball that led up to that long range shot, so. Are these guys in the. Okay, these guys are in the 2nd division. So we should be taking easy care of them. I think at halftime I'm going to bring on my kids, give them a run out. I'm not feeling very threatened by this team. But we're not dominating by any means by the looks of the highlights. Like we're keeping it in their box a lot. We've got 63% of the club. So yeah, we are dominating, but like, we're not carving out opportunities, which we're going to say we're not happy with them because of that. We'll take Malakar off for Carlson. We will bring Jean-Pierre on as a left back, and we'll bring Holm on for Lundholm. And we're at 38 minutes of recording, so we might make it through. We might make it all the way through the group. I'm just doing this, Jesper, as I mentioned earlier, asked if I ever did streams, and I really don't. I don't like streams, because I feel like there's a level of consistency you have to have, like, I'll be streaming at this time on these days, and you have to stick to that schedule, and I'm actually in the military, and I don't really have the ability to be that consistent. Oh, that was frightening. But I figured I'd give him a little video of me playing so you can see how I play. Carlson's through. Oh, and he does take advantage. That was a heavy first touch. But he ended up outmatching Nilsson, who actually doesn't look like a bad goalkeeper, even for the Swedish top division. He's not that much worse than Rems, and Rems is a league-winning goalkeeper, and I think probably the best goalkeeper in the league, not even gonna lie. That's not just bias. 1 minute remaining. Come on, full time. There we go. 3-0. We'll give them. We'll say it was a good win. 3-0's convincing. I'm actually curious now. Let's have a look here. Season preview. We have predicted to come first. This Italian guy is considered to be the best goalkeeper in the league. Let's compare him to
Rems. I'd say, and like, he's physically stronger, but I'd say I'd rather have Rems. Better distribution, better aerials, better communication, bit more eccentric, but I'm playing him as a sweeper keeper, so I'm not that hurt about that. Best fullback is actually at Malmo. He's a right back. He's not one of the ones I was looking at. My DLP, my deep line playmaker is apparently one of the best centre backs. Jacob Larson doesn't look too good. I tried to get this kid in originally to be my right back when I brought in Ali, and I prefer Helgeson significantly, but I can't remember why I didn't end up getting him in. I think it was a price issue. Halberg's the best right mid. No, he's not. Gallagher's one of the best centres. Franson looks solid, 29 though. Wallen's the best left winger in the league apparently. Malakar's one of the best two strikers alongside this terrible, terrible player. Gallagher is considered to be the best player in the league. Franson is second. Wallem is third. Previously, when I joined, Follow Runs Show was in Gallagher's spot up here, so I feel like we've made some improvements since we came in. I'll tell Gallagher he was really impressive with his performance and his creative chances. We're going all day for 6 days until we play. We're just going to call Magi. Helsingborg's IF. Is that like Helsinki? No. That can't be, right? Don't mind my random bouts of silence while I wait. Ooh, 42 minutes and 8 seconds. I feel like this isn't going to go too far over 45 minutes if I play this last game, so play the last game and show you what that looks like. I think Helsinki Borgs, Helsingborgs are a second tier team as well, so we might actually rotate for this. There is a bit of a gap after this before the Europa Cup 2 games, but I kind of assumed I was going to make it out of this group, so I didn't arrange friendlies, which it looks like the quarterfinals are played right here on the 8th. 5-day gap after our last group match. Apparently a lot of friendlies and games being played on the 29th of February. Someone has been made an offer for by IFK Gutberg. Yuri Tielemans at Chelsea now. Neymar is player of the month, presumably. My main competition for the league last year. The all our players is doing something, who knows. David Turnbull has 3 months left in his contract. Now that is an interesting little tidbit there, because that is a player I have on my bookmark list. He's an attacking midfielder / central midfielder who looks like a very nice little playmaker. He lacks physicals, but his vision and his technicality are superb. He looks like, you know those players who were once really, really good and they're now like 33, and you're a team that just got promoted from the championship, so they're available on a free transfer, so why not? He looks like one of those, but he's not one of those. Not popping up high enough. Let's say David Turnbull. There he is. See, like his speed and his physical is not great, but his vision and his attacking is superb. Let's see, he gave me this message when I came in for him 3 months ago. Still unwilling to consider coming to us. Contract expiring 6 months. The other one, this guy, 19-year-old Frenchman, who, look at that, for a deep line playmaker defend to replace Michael. He's phenomenal. He gave me the same message, and yep, still the same. Let's just skip through all these. Let's. Oh,
He appreciates me this time. Yay. Helsingborg IF. Super Retin. So yeah, that's the second tier. So we're gonna rotate a little bit. We will start Roebuck. No, we'll start Carlson. We'll start Holm. We'll start Rasmussen. We'll start Jean-Paris. And we'll take Kerr off for Erdstrom. Do I have any other prospects I'm really happy with? This is a 24-year-old, right? 25 now. Yeah. Alright, yeah, that'll do. Yeah. Let's play that. Apparently, autosave's kicked in around the 45-minute mark. Wow, this is taking longer than it normally does. Okay, now I'm pretty sure it's just frozen. Oh no, it moved. Yay. Or do I just blink and think it moved? It's moving! Yay! Almosaur is in for a rough run of games until Holmgren comes back. Same with Wallum, but Wallum is playing well enough to justify him starting every damn match. I do have Jassa who can come in and deputize for Almosaur in that AM spot. I prefer to play him as I was playing him as my as one of a rotating lineup of Mazellas. He was mostly on the bench to satisfy the league's 9 homegrown players in your match day squad requirement, which last season mostly consisted of me picking 2 in my first team and then just 7 of them on the bench, filling up my sub bench. Yeah, let's just jump right into here. We'll randomly number Rasmussen for his debut. I figure we've won 2 out of 3 games. Even if, Kaiser, no. Ignore my dog, please. Even if we lose this, like, IK might overtake us if they win by a ridiculous margin. But, Jesus Christ, Kaiser, what are you hearing? Damn dog. This is another reason why I don't do streams or videos, because that dog is a mad little, I say little, he's 80 freaking 5 pounds of giant schnauzer, which is probably the problem. Giant schnauzers were bred to be protectors. They were supposed to protect the homestead in Germany. And oh, he stretches. I really wish I had a Conor Gallagher there at the far post to tap that in. But I really wish I had a camera. Well, if this recording software had the ability to record my face, which it doesn't, because I'm just using the Xbox game bar that comes with my laptop. But and I had a webcam in the back so you could see his fluffy little self. Because he is adorable, and he'd make for much better viewing than me playing Football Manager, to be honest. Maybe that's why I should do YouTube videos on the life of Kaiser. Don't get complacent out there, lads. Jean-Paris is probably going to have to come off. At some point in this half, he's a little bit fatigued. I do not like seeing players go below 70%. If they're below 70%, I'm going to sub them. If I've already used my subs, obviously they're going to stay on, but like the first players to hit 70%, or look like the first players to hit 70%, come on. That's just... Back in the old days of the game... Oh, that's unfortunate. I don't have an AMC on the bench. Besides Gravius, who I'm not well suited to play in that role, really. Yeah, we'll do that. That seems like a good plan. Anything else you want to do? Carlson's not having a good game. Let's bring Roy back on for another cameo. But the old school games, I think it still does it now, where like the I don't even notice the assistant's freaking advice anymore. It's now just this little green thing that comes and goes. But it used to be like a whole block somewhere on the screen, and they'd always be like, blah blah is looking tired, we should think about subbing him, and it would always kick in at 70%.
So I got into the habit of replacing people with 70%, and I just haven't changed that attitude. I don't make tactical subs very often unless someone's having a really bad game. So usually, wait, that was never a penalty. That was outside the box. Shut off. Hang on. Ooh, that's a cool name though. Let's see. He ain't good. That's hang on. That's outside the box. There is no way that is not outside the box. Hang on, hang on, hang on. I'm calling some VAR here. Let's. So he goes. He's outside the box there. That is never a penalty. Not in a million bloody years. Oh, that's annoying. That's going to cause some freaking draw now. Wallen whips it in. Am I spoken too soon? Offside. Ah. I mean, a draw's fine. We're still going to come top by group. But it's a blemish on my record I don't want. I like my win percentage to be really good. And yeah, that's another draw. Absolutely dominated that game. You were not good enough. Look at those stats. 27 shots. Only 7 of them on target. 64%. There's no way we didn't win. We shouldn't have won that. That's weak sauce from my boys there. And we qualified for the quarterfinal. So, yeah. As I said, I'm going to leave it here. And I might do another one of these if I get enough views, likes, whatever metric you want to measure it by. I mean, I usually get like 3 likes on my Facebook posts anyway, so. But, yeah, give it a like. Give me a subscribe if you enjoy it, I guess. I'll either see you on Facebook or maybe we'll see more videos. Till then, bye-bye.